It's so ludicrous. I don't see any prosecutor out there, making cases against anybody else. I don't see anybody offering her any deal to make any more waves or any more problems in this. I think they've got their nice little neat bow all wrapped up here and just not tied up. And I predict she'll die of COVID within a year. And who knows if she's really in prison or they let her out or what. But something will happen where she'll disappear off the face of the earth in one way or another. Or in a couple of years, they'll overturn the conviction based on some nonsense. We see that happen often too, that after a few years, when the people aren't watching, that they all get out. Like remember that the Howard Beach case where they chased the kids, they chased the black guys into the highway and they got run over? All those kids wound up doing no time. They were convicted, and years later it was all overturned. They all got away with it. I think like one guy did some time, like 5 years or something. So that's kind of what we can expect here too. So after 9 years, am I rejoicing? Am I, do I feel any satisfaction? The answer is no. Do I feel any appreciation? Really, no either. I'll tell you that too. And I got to tell you, sitting here, in all honesty, perhaps if I had not done that first show and had not spent those first few years talking about something that nobody heard of, perhaps we wouldn't be here today at all with a dead Epstein or, a hidden Epstein and a convicted Maxwell and so much light on this story that's out there. So, but do I feel any kind of satisfaction or gratification? Really, no. Really, no. I don't see this as any kind of a victory or anything. If anything, it's what do you call, like a letdown. I kind of feel let down by all this. So I'm not saying I'm some kind of genius, okay? I'm not like a mastermind. I was in the right place at the right time, and I heard this story. It was interesting to me. When I got a radio show, I said, this is an interesting thing I want to put on the air. Just like a lot of stuff I do that doesn't take traction. I'll give you another one, though. I did a show, and this is related, by the way, to the Epstein thing. I tell you before, sometimes I'll do a show just to ask the guest one question. And I had a question about scores. And so I found a guy who owns Scores, Michael Blutrich, okay, who, by the way, was partners in the Cuomo law firm. And, you walked into the Cuomo law firm, you go to the right, it was the Cuomo law firm. You go to the left, it was the Scores headquarters. That's how intimately they were all involved together. Okay. Comes on the show. I start getting contacted by all these people saying, hey, Ed, man, this guy molested me. This guy, when I was a little boy, this guy raped me, man. This guy came to our rec center, and lure us out of there and offer us money and all kinds of stuff. So behind the scenes, we wound up with a lawsuit on that case. I don't always talk about it. Bring it up a couple of times. I'm going to shout it from the rooftop. But, there's been outcome. There's been some good outcome from the stuff on this show. But do I feel all that satisfaction? I really don't. Now, another one thing that happened this week was the death of Harry Reid. Okay? Now, I'm no fan of Harry Reid, let me tell you that. Harry Reid stole the election from Bernie Sanders. Harry Reid was part of that Nevada machine with some of the most richest people on the face of the earth, man, in Nevada. Vegas corruption. A little story so many people are not aware of. When I lived in Las Vegas, I really lived in Henderson, Nevada, but I lived in this little community called Seven Hills. And that's where Butch Harmon had his swing coach. Tiger Woods' swing coach was there. The guy that owned eBay lived in there. Smokey Robinson lives in there. And one of the people who lived in there was LaToya Jackson. And we used to go to the same dry cleaners. And I would see LaToya Jackson and this man she was with. They're both she's beautiful. She's a stunningly beautiful woman. And she would have these clothes on. Her clothes would be just like immaculate, brand new, expensive clothes, well-tailored. And they had a brown Bentley, okay? Bentley Rolls Royce. And the guy she's with wearing a suit. And they're picking up their dry cleaning like me. Okay? All right? They're just, really dressed to the nines. Different kind of people. So she was married previously to this guy named Jack Gordon, who basically was a pimp. Okay? He ran massage parlors in California. He owned a bunch of massage parlors. And Jack Gordon had this ability that anybody he would go into partnerships with, the partner would get killed. Okay? It would be a murder, and his partner would die, and he would walk away with entire ownership of the massage parlors. He wound up owning 3 of them. And then he did some time. He got a charge for prostitution, pandering, pimping. And he did that. And somehow he gets his mitts on. Through Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's father, hired Jack Gordon, the pimp, to be his daughter's manager. How do you like that? I used to see Joe Jackson, too, down at one of the sports books. I think it was Harrah's, one of those kind of places. It wasn't a fancy one. It was a shitty one. Down in Vegas, too. Boy, and here's a whole story about him, too, man, where he stole this money from a Korean church. They invested some money with him, and he just ripped them off. Bunch of characters in that Jackson family. But Jack Gordon marries LaToya, and they came out. She did a press conference in Israel where she came out and said, hey, I believe all the allegations against my brother. Because we saw so many strange things. We saw checks paid to little boys. He would come home and bring soiled diapers after a night at Studio 54. This guy was up to some weird stuff. So she believed the little boys. Now, if you go to the Michael Jackson community, they'll say, well, no, Ed, that never happened because, it's all made up because Jack Gordon used her, and later on she admitted it was a lie. But Jack Gordon went to the prosecutor before he ever went to the press. It's a little-known portion to this story. It may not be in the press, I don't know, but that's something I know for a fact. Okay? Now, Jack Gordon, the story's about Harry Reid. Why are we talking about Michael Jackson, LaToya Jackson, and Jack Gordon? Because Jack Gordon got arrested for trying to bribe Harry Reid. Okay, he tried to offer Harry Reid a bribe, and as the story goes, Harry Reid, clean as a whistle, okay, brings in the FBI, and they did a sting operation. As soon as he got the money, Harry Reid starts punching on Jack Gordon. You tried to bribe me. Oh my goodness. I would never take money. Okay. All right. That's how the official story goes. But anyway, so Jack Gordon, what happens later on, Jack Gordon, he was in the jackpot there with that problem. But what happens was one day, Harry Reid's wife goes out to the car, and she happens to notice that there's dynamite attached to the car. And they blame Jack Gordon, that Jack Gordon tried to bomb Harry Reid. How do you like that? How's that for a story? So that's my Harry Reid story. Comes in with Michael Jackson, Jack Gordon. Jack Gordon, by the way, also said that Michael Jackson was sacrificing some of those chimpanzees in a satanic ritual. Jack Gordon wrote a book about the Jacksons. You can't find it anywhere, okay? But there was a lot of stuff in that book. So much gets covered up, man. It's disgusting. That's what you got me for, right? Okay, looks like we're at the end of our show. If you like our show, be sure and like it and share it and retweet it and post it on Facebook and Reddit and Craigslist and wherever you can so more people can find the show. I'm working on some stuff, good stuff. An offer to do a documentary film. And also, too, I'm talking to a guy about a syndication package nationwide for the show. He's a legit guy. I know who he is. So we just got to find out. And he says he has sponsors, too, to pull it all off. So who knows? Maybe by this time next month, I'll have 10 times the headaches I have right now. Okay? All right, guys. I love you so much. Happy New Year, guys. Hey, listen, God bless you all. I got no kidding around. I got some of the most smartest people I've ever met in my life. The nicest, most sincere, legitimate people I've ever met in my life are either listeners to this show or contributors or helpers behind the scenes like Ed and Shane and all these guys who help out behind the scenes, and Marlon who helped with Patreon, and Brace and all these guys who helped out over the years, great guys like Sean Duffy, man, who helped with the website for so many years, Christoph, all real legit, sincere people. And some of the smartest listeners that are out there. You know, I see some of these other shows out there, and you got to be so gullible to follow what they're saying. But I just got some of the sharpest people on this show. And over the years, the guests I've had on here, I'm honored to know them and talk to them. Brilliant people. People involved in history, historic events, that things that I know about them in their life that they don't talk about in public, man. But it's big stuff, man. Big stuff. You know? Like historic stuff. You know? And these people are wishing my daughter a happy birthday on Facebook. You know? So it's been a nice ride here, guys, and I can't thank you enough. Good people, good friends, and great audience. Happy New Year to you all. Okay, and I wish you all a happy New Year this next year. Healthy, prosperous, that we all do great. And great things for the show. Good night.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Before Epstein was the Franklin cover-up. Before that, the Finders. And long before that, the Cleveland street scandal. Pedogate Primer is a concise intro and overview of a growing child abuse epidemic worldwide. It features shocking instances of institutionalized and organizational pedophilia throughout history. Churches, cults, the world of arts and entertainment, the government, NGOs, charities, and major corporations are all complicit or culprits in many instances. Pedogate Primer delves into material that for many may seem like the stuff of conspiracy theories. For this reason, the book draws on academic resources, declassified documents, and other reliable sources, and steers clear of conjecture. Such shocking, true stories need no embellishment.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDLaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDLaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. The Opperman Report is brought to you by Aquadam.net. You can give them a call at 707-764-2119. A flooded home is never easy to deal with. You're left with the mess to clean up, the insurance companies to deal with, and not to mention all the memories, the precious memories that are lost in the flood. You can never replace those. And Aquadam can be a tool in your arsenal to protect your home and property from the floodwaters. The cofferdam is filled with water to control water and is reusable as long as it's taken care of. It can protect your home or business from rising floodwaters like a dam, but without the beavers. It can also be used in construction. If you need an area to be dewatered, an Aquadam can do the job. An Aquadam was used at SeaWorld in Orlando for the Mako roller coaster ride during the coaster's construction by dewatering the work area. An Aquadam is now dewatering the work area at San Antonio SeaWorld for their newest roller coaster ride. An Aquadam has been used in many construction projects all around the U.S. and all around the world. Now give Aquadam a call, 707-764-2119. You can look them up online at aquadam.net. You can find them on Facebook at Aquadam Inc. You call them up, you email them, you tell them Ed Opperman sent you, and they're going to take 10% off the price. Aquadam.net, 707-764-2119.